Yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of questions, and kind of wondered when I was going to get around to answering quite a few of them actually. But I guess it's about time, being as studio's getting redone and cameras are turning up better and everything else. And we did just recently clean up a whole lot of the listings that we had on Facebook and deleted them. Right. Yeah, they folks don't hear this side of the conversation that you're giving. Oh, what's my most common question? I'd have to say the most common question I have is, where's your church at? It's right here. Um, I like not having a brick and mortar because I can go out and about and talk to all kinds of folks and things. Um, I'm blisteringly aware that Christ didn't have his own church, and he would go out in the street and he would go where the doctor was needed. Remember, he said, I don't come here for those that don't need me. A doctor doesn't go to those that are already healthy, he goes to those that are sick. Right, right. One of the main points I try to put across when I wander about, and sometimes, trust me, it's a lot like that. I just go from one direction to another and everything else wherever God leads me, and I can really find some pretty amazing people. Yeah, just yesterday I was asked where my church was at. Matter of fact, I was asked if I was going to be making the studio, which is half my studio and the other half my home, into a church. Well, I have seating for 10 people in like a studio or audience kind of thing, but that's really about it. I can't put all nearly 1,000 people in this space. It just, no. We'd look a lot worse than our United States border crisis right now to date. Oh, sorry. Separating church and state. I guess I just voiced it a little. Yeah, we'll call that a oops. No, no. I don't get political. Well, because I've got no place to. That and until the Bible tells me something different, then I'm not supposed to be on a bandwagon for one or another unless it's for the cause of Christ. You see, if both candidates are garbage, then what do? Garbage one, garbage two? I just declare them both garbage and move on. If there winds up being one that says that they're a man of God, and remember Christ says, and you shall know them by their fruits. Watch the candidates, see what they're going to be able to do. Don't get them because of which color a tie. Get them because of the type of job they can do. Yeah, judge them as people. Measure everything. I tell them, even measure me by the word of God, because quite frankly, I keep telling them, unless I know it's broke, I can't fix it. Yeah, I do have a lot of little sayings. I'm fully aware, but they're there to teach things. They're there to help people remember. Trust me, once I've had somebody around me enough and they've heard a saying about 2 or 3 times, they usually tell me, you've said that quite a few times, but they can remember it word for word and why. It I don't have to holy two bar for anybody. I can just talk about God because I'm around. I don't believe in the holy two by four. I don't believe it does any good. I've seen the holy two by four team people away from God rather than bring them to Him. Well, that's a good one too. I started in '95, and I was the Christian DJ for a radio station. No, no, I'm not going to disclose who it was. Yeah, I don't think they're even in business anymore anyway because the executives there were a little less than noble. Yeah, it it was a challenge for me because I didn't always match the type of music that they would play ahead of me and after me. No, no, I didn't get to choose any of that. No, no. The only structure I was responsible for was my 30 minutes. Right. Just just a simple 30 minutes. But I found 3 minutes can change somebody's life. You just you just gotta want to do it. Well, what makes me who I am is my faith. I tell people the the way that I do things is I'm a servant to God. That that matters wholeheartedly everything to me. Uh, Blessing wise, I'm married to a wonderful woman, Miss Cheryl. She knew I took the call and was chosen to do this task. And as I'm called, I turned around and told her, I says, "Well, hon, it doesn't mean we're staying here." My wife promptly told me, "Baby, wherever he leads us, we are going." She got some mileage for that one. Yes, yes. That's, yeah, that was without question. Outstanding gal. And we are quite equally yoked. No, I do believe it's important to be that way because if you're not of a like mind and a like heart, how can you be one soul? You know, it's like the math doesn't work out right. That's why I think there's so many different problems and things with marriage in this world today. The only reason why divorce rate isn't greater than marriage rates is because you actually have to get married in order to get divorced. Other than that, it probably would pass it right on by. Darkened hearts. You know, like I said, if you're not of the same mind, then you're not of the same heart. You're not going to be of the same spirit. And if you're not that, there's no way you're going to be one person. And if there's no way you're going to be one person, there's no way you can exist together. There's always going to be some form of contention. I tell people when I talk to them about marriage, I says, you know, dears, you're going to have to realize, both of you, the little flags now, the little red flags you see now are going to be huge banners once those rings get on your fingers. So you best communicate about them now. You best bring it all to peace. Because if you can't bring it peace when it's small now, you're certainly not going to when it matters all that much. It's huge. Oh yeah. But I'm known to direct my messages if I know somebody needs to hear something. But I don't direct my messages. It's not, you know, one of the first things I do before I go on or anything else like that is I move Bob out of the way and I serve. Yes, I do say that a lot. Hmm. If you want to make a difference in the world, you have to start with yourself. And that's very true. It's also the Christian premise. Hmm. Hmm. Well, Christ said, "Seek first God, well in mind, heart, and soul, mind, body, and soul. And at the second commandment was like unto it. It said, love thy neighbor as thyself. Now, if you're giving your neighbor a bunch of grief, what does that say to your neighbor about how much you care about yourself? Not so much, huh? No, I watch a lot of these other pastors and things, and especially the ones tied down to brick and mortar. It's it's like they're trapped, really, to me. Uh, you might have noticed in this town there are three churches on a road up here, right next to each other. It's like a religious buffet. Oh, I think I'll have some Methodist today. Uh, oh, I'll have some later Saints next week. You know, I've been looking to try some of that Baptist. There are over 3,000 different religions in the world. One of them is going to be wrong. This is why when I get asked the question, what denomination are we or what title we are or anything else, I tell people the gospel. That's it. Word of God. That's it. Because if we don't focus on getting them saved, then we're just spinning our wheels. We're wasting our time. These people need Christ. They need a relationship that they can count on. Now, some people have a hard time, and Christ even knew this too, by the way, because it's in Matthew. And Isaiah said it as well. He said, hearing, they will not hear. Seeing, they will not see. And Christ understood this very well because we're such a, I'll be nice, folks, that if we wanted to understand the things of God, our head would explode. So, in order for Christ to explain them to us, he had to do it in stories. So, he would open up a story and he would say, this and this and this, and this is what heaven is like. This and this and this is what you need to behave like. He taught in parables. What I try to do when I first start communication with someone is I try to bring life from the Bible into their life. I don't holy two by four them. It's not going to have chapter, verse, you know, book, chapter, verse. You better go read it. You. No. No. Broken Mold Ministry is a hand out, not a pointing finger. Right. Far as scheduling, there is going to be some changes here at the studio. I believe as I look at things that our main set's going to be, yeah, main set's going to be at 3 p.m. on Sunday. That's to help some of the folks in the area that don't get home as fast from their local churches, which is fine. I mean, I want them going to their local churches. I'm not steering anybody away from a church. I'm telling them to actually go because the local help and the local give and the local drive is what needs to be accomplished. Just because it's easy for you to flip your phone open and see me doesn't mean that it should be easy for you to avoid your church. That's no. I totally disagree with that. What? Again? No, it's just the last part that was cutting out. The internet here is terrible. Ah, well, eschatology's not my thing because then you've got to whip out the holy two by four as if it's your big guns. Now, being as even I have read the Bible several times over, but each time it sticks in my mind as a novel of truth without the real good retention of book, chapter, and verse. You know, I can tell you pretty much where something occurred or where something was talked about because I remember the scene. I remember, goodness, when he talked about the flowers, I could practically smell them. You know, those yellow one that grows out here, the daffodils. Along here in Texas, along the highways, those yellow flowers, you step out and smell them. When he talks about how well the flowers are adorned and the birds are taken care of and everything, I smell those flowers. You know, you can call me loopy if you want, but I fully believe I have seen the strength and work of my God. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I get asked a lot, "Where's your God?" Depending on how brash they ask that, there's like several levels. I'll give you one. I'll give you one. Uh, well, actually, there's two I'll give you. One's a little bit, you know, you got to watch it. You give that one too. Uh, the first one is my God's here. First and foremost, in how I present myself and how I obey, is going to be your example of a righteous man in the best that I can do it. And I'm fallible as all get up, but I'm trying and trying and trying. And I tell people, you know, as long as you are making an effort that God can see in your heart, not just thinking, hey, I'll get away with this. No, because you won't. If you're focusing on letting God know that you're focusing on Him, even as fallible as you are, He reads your heart and understands, and then while you're on His forge, He gives you more. By then, I've got to turn around and say it the swingy way and say, you know, I've noticed something about combat and saying something doesn't exist. And usually that time they turn around and ask me, well, what? Does your God exist? Yeah, or you wouldn't be trying to fight Him. You know? You wouldn't be trying to fight Him if He didn't exist for you to fight. Yeah. Yeah, I don't always make people happy. That's not my job. You've seen it on this station before, haven't you? I'm talking about the no sugar added marker that I put on. Right. Uh huh. Yeah. Because there is no sugar added here. I always tell people go ahead and ask your questions, but if you don't want to hear the truth, tell me to hush. Because otherwise, if you ask that question, you're going to get the truth. Ah, I don't mind any questions or anything because our life is glass. We're happy with what God has given us. We can show you how He did it. We trust Christ entirely. Uh, we have examples of where Christ has been clearly present in our lives and the way things happened. And there's no way that was happenstance or circumstance, not even superstition. It was truly something done by God. No, I don't do the Benny Hinn healing thing. Mm-mm. No, no. I do I do pray diligently for those that need it. I do listen to my king when something needs to be said. When I need to lay hands on someone and tell them what Christ wants them to know, Bob's already out of the way. You're not going to ask Bob garbage because Bob's not there. The biggest effort a true pastor has is moving himself out of the way and letting God speak. Remember, even Moses had that problem. He's, I can't talk. What am I going to do? God said, I will put my words in your mouth. They can do that even with somebody who has been customer care and supervisory executive for getting the escalated calls that are already swearing every other word. Yeah, yeah. They called me Uncle Bob on the floor because I couldn't be made angry. And they tried. Yeah, yeah, I'm not the only one. Uh, I have a hard time getting the other pastors to contribute, but I'm having a hard time getting them to contribute on the studio works and the multimedia. See, I understand these things far more than they do, and sometimes when you ask a pastor, "Hey, can you do a video?" That's it. You might as well be the actor behind the curtain. You're not stepping out there looking at all that audience. You won't do it. So, stage fright, I guess. Well, unfortunately, my natural high is people. I enjoy people. And the only way I get to people is to communicate. So I had to be very good with verbal chess in order to get to halfway of my life. Yes. I had to be very good with verbal chess when I was a unit patrolman in the military. So yeah. Oh yeah. I think the military experience helped me a lot in understanding a lot of things, especially a lot of people. Yeah, because one of the first things you learn as a soldier is as you're training is that everybody's cut out to be a soldier. I mean, you get that within the first 3 weeks, and if you're lucky, you're not one of them. No, I don't mind. No, really, seriously. Oh, yeah. Um, let's talk about something else. Really, would rather not talk about. Not today, anyway. And a little rough. Yes, that's right. Yep. Three out of the five are gone. I've lost three sons. Yep. I don't want to talk about that because of what it's going to do with my heart. We got a good thing going here. I figured I'd hit a positive note. Don't want me in a rut. Oh yeah. I wasn't born a pastor. I'm just as human. I feel things. Sometimes even more so. Huh? Yes, I have heard of Justin Peters. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen those videos where he goes after him. The big comical one I liked was there, but that guy and that gal over that table turned around and said and that they're all getting themselves all worked up and they say Jesus Christ wasn't the only begotten Son of God. Wow. Then even before Justin Peters even said it, I shouted at the screen, "Have these people never read John 3:16? Somebody get these people a Bible. Stat!" Oh yeah. Yeah. Matter of fact, right here on the chair. Yeah. It's like the fourth one I've gone through. I do a lot of my because I'm better with the keyboard and stuff than page flipping. I'll pick something up real quick on Quick Verse, which is from Parsons Technology. Real good piece of software. It's got what they call the BCV search, and that's the fastest way I can find anything. Yeah, I usually carry my phone with me, and when I've got my Chromebook with me, not everybody's got to have a Bible right at hand. I'll look at it with them. No, I don't mind. Take a little bit of time. I mean, you told me it was going to be 30 minutes, and we're at 25 minutes, so What's hard about this ministry? Getting everybody to cooperate. I just don't seem to manage to see how to get them to do it. See, you work with different pastors, and each pastor's got his own view on the way things should be. But the Bible has only one view on the way things should be. That's why I tell them, measure your world with the Bible, measure yourself with the Bible, measure me with the Bible. Because unless I know it's broke, I can't fix it. Yeah, you were not here when I mounted the laptop over here so I could pay attention to Facebook when things got crazy, huh? Yeah, I'm not very happy, and I'll tell you, I'm not very happy with YouTube and Facebook because every time we put an encouraging song or something like that in the message, it's destroyed. Yeah, we have quite an extensive library. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can say I got all of them legal because some of them came from friends and family, and I don't know where they got them, but I know they brought them to this library. We've got over 6,000 titles of music, and yet I can't seem to play any without Facebook or YouTube slapping the choir, telling them to hush. They might be saying something that's copyrighted. Yeah, the speed of the internet as well. I wish we had better internet. We are working on that. There may be another option coming up soon. We're hoping to take it up. Oh yeah, yeah. The reason we do a lot of pre-records is because our upload speed is so bad. We have an upload speed that, if you're familiar with the analogy, Fred Flintstone would be crying to have our upload. It's absolutely horrible. And they have audacity to call it high speed internet. Uh huh. Well, the easiest thing, reaching out. Because I know